Hi guys, I hope you're having a good day today. I thought I'd bring you a project that I've been meaning to get to since Christmas time. I make fabric covered boxes, so I thought I'd show that process to you today. Okay, so the first step is to measure the bottom. I'm doing the inside bottom first. Measure that and cut a piece that's 2 inches, 1.5, 2 inches bigger than your bottom measurement. And then cut out these little corners so you have tabs that will fold up into the box. Okay guys, what I'm working with is about a 1/4 cup of water, a 1/4 cup of school glue, and a 1/4 cup of a water-based varnish, or maybe up to 1/2 cup of the water-based varnish. Sorry about that. Brain fog. And I have my piece of fabric all cut out, ready to go, and my box is nearby because it's a fast process. It looks like a lot of stuff that I have here, but this fabric really soaks up a lot of material. So I just basically brush it on the fabric. On the wrong side of the fabric, you brush it on. And you just wait till it's all saturated. And I'll go ahead and do this and then bring you back in a second. Okay guys, I've got this all covered now. I did stop and put some freezer paper behind. I like the freezer paper because it doesn't absorb any of the glue mixture, and it keeps everything, so I don't have to clean up so much. So and I did put a coat of the glue mixture in on the actual cardboard. So we're just going to take this and kind of fudge it in here a little bit, move things around and get the corners all lined up nice and neat. I start with the bottom on this because when I fold the outside around, it makes a nice clean edge on the bottom, and I don't have the, it looks a lot nicer at the end than if I start with the outside. I like the clean edge that I get this way. So we're going to push out any wrinkles. And I'm not going to worry too much about the wrinkles. This is something that I'm doing for myself so I can help get myself organized. If I was doing this to to try and sell, I would take more time to get the wrinkles out and everything. I hope you can hear me. I am kind of looking down and I'm mumbling. Sorry about that. It's a constant battle for me. I have a real quiet voice, and I do try and turn up the video so you guys can hear. I think I've said that before. So I'm just working this all in, and I'll get this all smoothed out the way I like it, and I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Okay guys, we're ready for the next step. I am measured from the inside clear around to the inside of here, and that's how big I cut my fabric. And then I cut the corners out on the end, and on the side flaps I left an extra inch flap that I cut in like this. Hope you can see that. So that I can wrap that around the sides and then have a nice clean edge of fabric going up the corner. So I have already put the glue, and I did want to note that I painted the box white so that the letters and stuff don't show. I'm just using a box that we purchased, stuff in, recycling kind of thing. So, and I still need to put a coat of this, and this I don't worry too much about. I put it on real quick and easy. Just get enough on there to help it stick, because the cardboard seems to absorb a lot, and the paint kind of helps with that too, so that you're not using too much material. Because it's not expensive, but it's still good to be conservative, I think, with the amount of stuff we're using. You could also use Mod Podge for this. That would be a good alternative if you didn't want to have 3 different products that you had to to mix and try and find the right proportion too. So I think so. There's just smoothing that out, getting all the bubbles out. I really like these fabric boxes. You know, they're colorful and they last a long time. They don't rip, and you know, the edges don't. And the plastic, I don't like the plastic because I don't breathe. You know, they're, and I feel like the cardboard cloth is better for the fabrics and things that I want to store overall. So that's the bottom is on, and now I'll go ahead and line this all up and put my glue mixture on, and I have my scissors handy so that if I have to clip some more because I didn't measure right, which often happens, I can do that. So I hope this is going to fit right. Seems like there's something wrong here. All right, I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm just smoothing down the final side, and I did make a mistake in my cutting. So, you know, old carpenter's rule, measure twice and cut once, and I just didn't take my time to measure everything right and make sure everything was going to line up right. I think a good tip would be to go ahead and mark in like a black marker the outside edge so that when you line up the bottom, everything's lining up really well. So I'm trying to get this all smoothed in here. This is where I made a mistake in my cutting. And then over here, I don't know if you can see the seam comes here instead of right on the edge. So, oh well. Like I said, it's for my own use, so I'm not too worried about it. You know, this is a really fun process. I like painting and I like fabrics. This is combining my, you know, the things I love and the beautiful fabrics. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the rest of this that I have left and paint it, you know, on the outside. I'll do the edges first and get a good coat of those on to you know, really bind the edges, or what's another word, really encase those edges so they don't come up and start fraying, or you know, I can really soak it and get the brush in there and get any wrinkles out, you know, as I go through and do this. And it, you know, it becomes a really sturdy box, and you know, lasts for years. And it won't destroy the fabrics. It won't leave any inks or anything on the fabrics. And the fabrics will breathe and not, you know, get mildewy smelling or anything. So that's what I'm doing. I hope you had a good day. I'll try and come back and show you what it looks like when it's all dried. Because the colors of the fabric kind of change a little bit. Okay, it's the next day, and this is had a chance to dry overnight. It was dry within a few hours, but I was just too tired to say anything last night. I'm having a rough day. So I dried this upside down, and I put pins right along the edge. And I dry it upside down because if there's any drips, I don't want them to pool in the bottom. I don't want, you know, fine. But the upper edge here, that's okay to have, you know, a little extra glue. And the colors did lighten up a little bit, but you can see from the original that they are a little darker. So be aware of that when you're choosing fabrics. If you're going to do this project, this is the same flower, and this one's a little bit darker. Not sure if it's going to show up on the camera or not. So that's that. I'm really pleased with this. It'd be a good thing to have, you know, for my fabrics and little doodads. Clean up was a little bit of a chore. I don't wear gloves, you know, I don't like the gloves, so, you know, I have to scrub with warm water and soap and get it all off. It does come out of the brushes really well, though. You know, a little bit of soap and warm water. And the one thing I learned lately that I didn't know before is to, when you dry your brushes, to dry them either flat or hanging like this, but not so that they're touching something on the bottom, because that will cause the bristles to, you know, this is a cheap paintbrush, so it's not a big deal, but, you know, if you have more expensive brushes, you want to take care of them. So lie them flat, because the water pools and then it damages this. So that's a good tip that I just learned. So, and yeah, that's my project. I'm pretty happy with the box. Toodles.